Can you hear my fridge? Sorry about that. I'm gonna read a couple lines from this poem. Dried maple and ash bark, lush emerald flats, the fall-colored arena hark, the wide superior mats. At the valley's peak, encircled my life, the open space speaks. Let me end the strife.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Gonna keep this market analysis short and sweet today. There hasn't been a lot of change. I'm gonna show you what I've been following and probably follow up on a couple posts. First things first, I was informed by BitGet that any spot trading you do from now until May 20th, all of those fees will be paid back in BGB. So if you're a spot trader or you use BitGet and you need to buy spot, you should be able to receive or be eligible to receive BGB. But onward and upward to everything else. So what's up, Dorian? What's up, E&M? What's up, 4-star strength? Can I please check Bitcoin dominance in USDT and see how many weeks from the bottom, 2018 and 2020, compare it to today, last cycle? Okay, so I already know what you're leading at. You're leading at what Benjamin Cohen is saying. I already commented on his post. Guys, look, you have to remember that the market changes all the time, and you need to look at the current trend. We'll get into that for sure. But going off, like if 2018 was 200 weeks or whatever, that doesn't mean that 2024 is going to be 200 weeks, right? The timing is not always going to add up. Oh, one more thing. If you're wondering about my hair, tank top, and all this, I was outside doing yard work, like cutting the grass and everything. So a little sweaty. I have to wait and go get more gas so I can finish, but figured I'd stream in the meantime. Oh, it's not Ben Cohen's. Okay, because he's like talking about the same thing. It shows we're in the same length right before altcoins ran. Oh, that's great. Well, it lines up with what I'm saying because Bitcoin dominance is showing exhaustion. And I guess we'll start with Bitcoin dominance since we're on the topic. So real quick, and I know what you're leading at. You want to look at prior trends. I'm not a big fractal person. If you're saying it's lining up terrific, you can use it as confluence with my analysis. So my biggest thing here is we have 3 levels of divergence between RSI, MACD, and price. We also have volume pushing down, and I'm unsure if volume even matters for Bitcoin dominance. But we have volume pushing down on the last leg upwards, rejecting resistance, and almost making a deviated breakout of this resistance level. For me, these are all signs of trend exhaustion. You also have divergences of momentum. It's very clear to me. This is not a strong. This uptrend shouldn't last much longer. That doesn't mean we can't put one more high in. That doesn't mean that we can't retest highs. That doesn't mean we won't just drop through. Lots of possibilities, but my point is this trend is exhausting, and all of those elements of trend exhaustion are right there in front of you. So if that is combined with your analysis, if your analysis is also saying, hey, we're following a time frame that we have in the past, that's great. And it's not that I'm not going to look at what you're saying, but I don't like looking at fractals or things back in time, because a lot of the time the market changes, and specific to timing, right? You can't time the market. There's no magical timing. Guys, we broke all-time highs before the halving, right? I mean, we've never done that in Bitcoin's past. So yes, you could argue around the halving the quote-unquote bull market starts, so maybe we're starting it. Maybe we're far ahead of where we should be. I'm unsure. But I'm really looking at trend and what trend is saying. And trend for me, for Bitcoin dominance, and to find confluence at that, if you look at Ethereum to Bitcoin, you have bullish divergences in MACD here between these recent lows. You also have bullish divergences with RSI. We're making lower lows in price, higher lows in RSI. Again, a sign that this downtrend is exhausting, right? And what does that mean if our downtrend is exhausting? We should move higher or move sideways. To me, we'll probably move slightly higher, maybe down one more time, and then up from there. That, again, follows in my belief that Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin are not done moving upwards yet. We'll probably see one last leg or two with Bitcoin dominance, maybe taking us to the upper 60s, who knows. But what I do know is our current trend is exhausting. So realistically, altcoins should perform very well. Why am I drawing Bitcoin dominance going back up in 2025? Numerous reasons. One, I don't think so. For me, I think Bitcoin ranges for the next 2 to 3 months. I think Bitcoin's not going to break 56K. I don't think it's going to break 72K in the next 2 months. I think Bitcoin is going to do this, right? It's just going to float around this whole thing until it breaks out, right? That has me thinking altcoins during this period, because Bitcoin dominance is showing exhaustion, should pump. Not every altcoin will do well, but some should. A lot of altcoins like Tau also have major bullish divergences. A lot of altcoins like Link, again, major bullish divergences. Solana, major bullish divergences between their lows. Solana also has a massive inverted head and shoulders forming on the daily. Very, very clear neckline, clear left shoulder head. We just need to form that right-handed shoulder. Again, for me, I think some of these alts will do very well this summer. I don't think every alt will do well. After the summer, Bitcoin will resume as it normally does. We'll probably move to 120 to 180K, somewhere in that area. That'll be the bull market top. And then we'll have our actual alt season where that liquidity shifts from Bitcoin into altcoins, and altcoins do very well. Agree that it changes its confluence with other metrics. Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all. And not to attack you earlier, but someone had brought up what Ben Cohen was saying, and frankly, it's not. I don't even know him. It's not that I don't like him. I just haven't seen him be right at all. He's also not looking at other indications. He's just drawing lines on a chart and comparing them to historical fractals. He took this whole thing and is comparing it to this. These are two completely different scenarios, 1 and 2 completely different markets, and 3, he's not pointing out any of the exhaustion. If you look at what happened in 2018 to 2019, there is no evidence of exhaustion here on the weekly. On the weekly, there is no evidence of exhaustion in this trend up until we get to really the beginning of 2021-ish. And again, I say ish, right? We put in a higher high. You have these divergences. Kind of a double top, eventually breaking down. Regardless, this entire trend here, there were no bearish divergences at all along the way, right? We had a big sideways correction, upwards, and then sideways breaking down, right? In 2023 and 2024, really the end of 22 all the way to 2024, we're starting to see exhaustion, right? Prices making higher highs, RSI and MACD are not. That is a sign of trend exhaustion. Ben Cohen is wrong all the time. Last top, this bottom, and he was calling for a mid-cycle top around 35K. Yeah, I don't really know the draw to him. I don't know why people like him so much. I think it's just because he has a ton of followers. And, everyone, for some reason, people associate followers with how correct you are. Like, I could go and buy 100,000 followers right now. I'm not going to do that, but I could. The market today looks a lot like the one before October. Nobody's talking about crypto. Everyone's thinking Bitcoin will crash. Huge opportunity. That's what I'm saying. I think the biggest opportunity is in alts, specifically from Bitcoin dominance. What's up, SJH? How you doing? What my thoughts on Jupe are, if that's something you have looked at. No, I haven't looked at it. Guys, I'm done buying altcoins. Anything you see on my chart is what I own, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Link, BNB, ICP, Ajax, Fetch, Tau, Crow, so on and so forth. This whole entire list, other than Sushi, right, and AI. I own at least $5,000 of any of these coins, up to $100,000. It just depends on what it is. I'm doing well. I have to. Apparently, my dog, while I was starting the stream, got out. Girlfriend brought him back. I was doing yard work, and I guess he got through the fence. I don't know, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But after this, I'm going back outside in the 85 degrees and gonna go finish cutting the grass. So it's always fun. ETH below 3,000 seems like a good buy. I'll take a look at ETH, but let's look at some of these like macro charts, just see if we can see anything. So one thing I do really like, and the reason why I'm looking at the daily today on SPX, guys, we know the weekly, it's going to be a boring couple of months, right? We're going to do this on S&P, right? We're going to form that range just like we did on Bitcoin. We're going to form this range, and then eventually it's going to break out. Everyone's going to be bearish and say, hey, no one wants to buy at these prices. You know what I find funny? People are like, no one is going to buy here. Guys, like, we just had a 100% move upwards. We need to create volatility to move higher, right? People have to want to buy the lows. They don't want to buy the highs of a range. And again, this range could last a very long time. I listened to both you and Ben. You are both great at what you do. It's unfair to question why he has so many followers, or alluding that he may have bought them. He hasn't always been right. No. I don't think he's bought them all. What I'm saying is people associate like someone with a lot of followers to be more right than someone with less, when I could go out and just like buy a bunch of followers and then people just think I'm right all the time or follow me because the crowd's following me. That's what I'm alluding to. I'm not saying that Benjamin Cohen has bought followers. I don't believe that he has. Frankly, I don't really follow the man, so I really don't know anything about him. But his posts do come up on my timeline from time to time. And all I can do is, and for fact of the matter, I will bring up one of them. And this isn't to roast him, so if any of you talk to him, see him, totally botching his name, aren't I? Yeah. So this isn't any negativity towards Ben, but this is what I'm talking about. He'll take something like this, and I get it, like rate cuts, whatever it is. Great. If you believe that rates are going to be cut, then, Bitcoin and everything's probably going to dump pretty hard. But my point is, this uptrend is exhausting, right? And he's actually using an older chart, I believe. This is actually incorrect. What is he looking at? Is he looking at a monthly? No, this is a weekly chart. Oh, yeah, it's a weekly chart. Oh, this is Bitcoin plus USDT. That's why. Okay. My only problem is on this side of the chart, we did not have exhaustion. On this side, we do. And again, just to bring up my point, right, you go to Bitcoin dominance, and you look at this on the weekly, there's evidence of trend exhaustion. Complete evidence of trend exhaustion. Could you envision a possibility, even if remote, that the bull market may be coming to an end, even if you think we're in a bull? So one, I don't even think we've started a bull market. We were above highs for like 9 days. Guys, just so you know and are aware, a bull market is this, right? This is a bull market. This is consolidation in a trend. I know that's going to be hard to comprehend, but hear me out. If I open up the 30-minute and I show you this, just imagine that. Let's say that this is Bitcoin's all-time high and this is Bitcoin's all-time low. What would you consider this? We know that this is a 30-minute, right? And in the 30-minute, all we're doing is ranging between 60 and 73. 9 out of 10 times, actually, I'd say 1,000 out of 1,000 times, someone is going to tell you that this is just a range, right? You wouldn't consider this a bull market because we haven't made new highs, especially if you're a long-time holder. Let's say you bought here or wherever you bought. If we go up here, you're barely in profit. If we go down here, you're break even, right? 9 out of 10 times, someone is going to tell you that this is a range, right? If we zoom out and open up the 1 week, all we're doing is ranging between, I mean, it depends. Arguably, we could technically be above highs. Again, I don't think this should have ever happened. So call me what you will, but we did it on the lowest volume we've ever seen. We had trend exhaustion all over the place, and really alts were just kind of holding up the market. That was during alt season. So for me, the highs are like right here, right around 60K. So what if we are in a bull market and we're just consolidating to move higher, right? You want to talk about overextension? Look at RSI. We were the highest, third highest point in RSI in Bitcoin's history. The second highest in MACD history. We have to correct to move higher. That's what I've been saying for the last 10 weeks. No one's paying attention to it. What do I think of CRV? I think it's at its all-time bottom, and it's a massive opportunity. Also, I'm an Ollie coach. I'm an OLY coach, and Cohen and people like lots of flashy data numbers and stats, feeling super smart, being borderline confused so they can get attracted to lots of other info and say it's sexy. Yeah, I agree with you. I was also infantry, and people love scopes and paints and sights, but can't shoot worth shit. Yeah, let's go. Fancy always prettier than normal. Iron sights the other day, dude, I'm with you. So, off topic of charts, one thing, I'm going to the SWAT range on Friday to shoot a Barrett 50 cal and a bunch of automatic weapons. All the ammo's paid for. It's gonna be fucking awesome. But back on the gun thing, oh, look at that. Siri is just listening to me when I said that. Wow, that was that. My Siri literally just was listening on my phone when I said Barrett 50 cal. See if it does it again. Tomorrow I'm going to the SWAT range, and okay, it didn't do it again. I wanted to see if it would. So back to my point. So charting, when you have a rainbow chart, looks fancy, looks crazy, right? Like, you guys see my chart? This is super easy to read, super simple, right? Why am I so successful most of the time? Because of this. Because I don't use all this fancy bullshit. Because I don't have this on all the time. I could make my chart look like this, and it's impossible to read, but man, it looks fancy and colorful. And back to the gun thing, I am 1,000% agree with you. Iron sights are where it's at. They say, and not just they say, if your home's being invaded, you should be using iron sights. Plus, when you have this mounted sight, if you're in bright light, you have to find like a holoscope or a red dot. You have to find the red dot. You can find your iron sights way faster. And I was not in the military, but that's coming from my uncle that was a Navy SEAL, my grandfather that was in the military, and all the SWAT guys that I've been hanging out with. Yeah, Barrett's amazing, dude. I can't wait. I've never shot something that big. I've shot a lot of stuff in my time. I had a lot of opportunities to do some cool stuff with guns. Oh, LOI's Olympic lifting. Oh, sweet. We're now forming bullish divs on the monthly, aren't we? I don't look at a monthly chart. Bitcoin's too young to look at a monthly chart. How important do you think market cap is comparing to price? I don't use that, so I'm not sure. I followed you on Twitter for a while, by the way. Oh, awesome. I'll have to look for your username. Yeah, a lot of you that show up to live streams and then you have a different Twitter username. Like, I feel really bad that I'm not, because I try to reply to like people that come into the streams, like prioritize you, because the more time you give me, the more time I'm going to give you. And I feel bad. Like, because sometimes I miss some of you, or if you're in Discord, like, I have a free Discord. You guys can always ping me whenever you want, just not when I'm sleeping, please. And I'll usually answer. But I feel bad because I'm like, I don't know who you are. And it could be someone, like, from the live stream all the time that I talk to all the time. And I'm like, oh, man, I just feel like an asshole. You mean weekly divs? Oh, yeah, I mean, yes, these are weekly divergences, bullish divergences. Pull up and draw, react. Not come with, yeah, what if your batteries dies? Like, what if you actually leave it on and your home's getting invaded? And then you go to flip on the site and you're like, oh, I don't even have a site. Is alt season canceled by Ben? No. But let's keep doing some deep diving. So the dollar. So this is my only chart that I'm unsure what will happen to, because frankly, I don't have any clear signs on the weekly or the daily. We have broken out and retested. Technically, that is bullish continuation, so we should go up to the next resistance. My only issue is, or my only, I guess, reason to be bearish, if we go and make a high right now, we are creating bearish divergences between these last two highs, which to me says we're exhausting and we need to go lower or consolidate for longer. Damn dog. Yeah, I'm going to have to go outside and figure that out soon. But on the 4 hour, on the daily, and on the weekly, it's not super clear. The only thing that I see is we're ranging. Like, the major levels to pay attention to are our upper and lower limits, which are like 101 and 107. Other than that, I don't know. My conclusion on the DXY is eventually we are going to break out. Eventually this is going to break and we're going to see, a fiscal event happen. Will it happen tomorrow? No. Will it happen in a year from now? Probably. 1 to 2 years from now, I'd say more than probably. 3 to 5 years from now, definitely. We are overdue for a financial event. Try to enter your Discord, but your channels are full of nothing. Do I have to pay to see your... No. So in Discord, first of all, you get a message from a bot. It's called the Olympus bot. It tells you what to do. So if you go into Discord, go to the rules tab and then click the green check mark, and it'll unlock everything in the Discord. Also, all of my trading calls are technically paid for. That's through Patreon. Every once in a while, I'll put a free one out on in Discord, but there's a ton of reliable people in Discord that can teach you as much or more than I can. Like, all of the people that are my quote-unquote analysts, they're great people. They know their shit. Lots to learn from them. I've learned stuff from them. So, onward to total. And I'm going to recap the totals very quickly. Guys, we have bullish divergences on all three total charts, right? Lower lows on RSI, higher lows on price. I mean, I'm telling you, this is not a sign of trend weakness. This is a sign of trend strength. The trend is upwards at the moment. But let's look at Tether dominance. Again, more confluence to be bullish. Well, first, I'll look on the daily. I believe a head and shoulders is forming. We're likely at the top of our kind of range. We should move upwards into the 5% area to make that right-handed shoulder and then go down. Again, this is a sign of reversal. For those who don't know, when Tether dominance goes down, Bitcoin goes up. And actually, And on the weekly, another sign of bearishness. We broke down. We're retesting. We should continue lower, right? So whether or not that head and shoulders forms, we should continue lower. And last but not least with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's daily, you guys know what the weekly looks like. I talk about it all the time. My question for Bitcoin, are we going to get this? We talked about Tether's head and shoulders. Will Bitcoin make an inverted head and shoulders? And again, more conclusions on this. You have volume going down, price going down. You have volume going down as price has been going down overall. You have all of the reasons to be bullish on the weekly. You have the reasons on Bitcoin dominance. You have Tether dominance showing a head and shoulders. On and on and on. Right? Stocks at all-time highs. Everything. Right? In my trading system, I look for confluence. I look for several indications. I look for reversal patterns. It's all there and it's all showing. So for all of you that are watching, I hope, and those of you that are patrons, of course, I'll ping you if the trade setup comes. But I'm showing you this now because I want you to be ready for it, right? And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if it does, now granted, if we just dump to here, that's not an inverted head and shoulders. We need to move sideways, move lower, and if we get that equal shoulder to our left-handed side, you're looking at a very, very clean long setup. And FYI, you should be looking for longs in here, right? We've gone over tens of 20s and if not 30 reasons to look for longs in this kind of channel, bull flag, whatever you want to call it. What's up, Yasser? How's it going? For the GoPro, thank you for what you do for the crypto community. Anytime, man. I got to bounce. Great to have you on live finally. I'll DM you on Twitter to chat more because I do need to get to your Discord as well. Thanks for the great work you do. Oh, anytime. Do I think ETH will retest? I don't know why that just happened. Do you think ETH will retest 2,800? Let's look. I mean, ETH is just kind of holding support. I guess it could. I mean, it's got to close candles below this kind of white line. But one thing I do like on ETH is double bottom. It's right there. 4 hour, it's even cleaner. So maybe we go all the way down to 28.72. But to me, that looks like a pretty clean double bottom. I'm actually going to move this here because it shouldn't break below these closes again. I mean, volume. Right there. Right there in front of you. Another reason. And with that said, last but not least, Ethereum to Bitcoin has a very weird looking inverted head and shoulders along with bullish divergences on RSI. So, I mean, 2,800 possibly, but Ethereum's giving us a nice daily double bottom here. Potential double bottom. It's not a double bottom until we break above that white line. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. I got to go finish my yard work. My dog also got out, so I got to figure out what part of the fence he got out on. With all that said, again, Bitkit, if you trade on Bitkit or if you want to trade on Bitkit, if you're a spot trader, they are paying fees back in BGB. So check that out. Any spot fees you pay, you'll get it all back in BGB until May 20th. With that said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I probably won't be here Friday and all that that I mentioned earlier with the shooting.